Module 8, Subtle Embodiment, is another of the modules that is highly experiential. So we'll be practicing quite a bit, but we will also be discussing methodology in terms of how you can actually share a direct experience with some of the more subtle elements of self and practice in a way that will have meaning instead of just being something theoretical. So the subtle elements of practice that we will be focusing predominantly on are the koshas, so the 5 layers of being, often referred to as the 5 sheaths, which essentially encase the soul: body, pranic body, mind, wisdom body, and bliss body. How can we give ourselves an opportunity to experience that for ourselves, and then also be able to share it with our students in a way that isn't just a lot of hypothetical? In addition to the koshas, we'll look at utilizing the Vayus with a little bit more nuance and finesse. And we'll also talk more about why we would want to do that. So much of this methodology is so fascinating in and of itself that we can get carried away with just wanting to play. And as a practitioner, I highly, highly encourage playing. And also as a teacher, if you want to give your students the opportunity to play, brilliant. But then what? What can we really utilize the Vayus for in terms of progressing our relationship to self on this path of sadhana, on this path of practice? So the Vayus, and then also the chakras. Chakras are something that have a lot of confusion and mysticism around them. They're often explored well out of context, and again, just incorporated potentially because they're kind of cool or trendy, or we've heard, something on social media that suggests that working with this chakra will unlock this thing, or how do I purify my chakras? How do I open my chakras? What if my chakra is too open? And all of that is misleading, to say it nicely. So we're going to try to take a more traditional perspective, and this tradition's perspective, on exactly which chakras we tend to orient to our understanding of them as much as could be understood on an intellectual level, and how they are utilized in practice and for what purpose. So again, much for ourselves, because first and foremost, if we haven't had a direct experience of the subtle body and its various components, then attempting to share with anyone else will just fall flat on its face. So we'll first focus on ensuring that we are getting a felt sense of these various aspects of subtlety, and then discovering together how we can share them in a meaningful way with our students and why we would want to. So that is module number 8, Subtle Embodiment.